Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now. So let's get straight into it. How to create the business you've only dreamed of without stress or worry. Because when we start, we have a dream of where our business will be. We're painting the shop, we're setting up the website, and we're imagining what our business is going to look like in 1 year, 2 year, maybe 3 years time. And sometimes when we get to this stage, there's a discrepancy between where we thought we'd be and where we are. And today we're going to show you how to start creating that business that you dreamt of. Okay, did your dream include paying yourself what you're worth and having 60% more profit than you have now, or perhaps even more? Or would you love to have more time for the things that are important to you? And just imagine if I guarantee that it will make more than it would cost. Well, guess what? You're obviously in the right place. So who is this for? This is for people who are willing to do some basic to get results beyond their wildest dreams and who feel that they deserve more out of life and willing to take responsibility for their life. And there's always one slide that gets the order wrong, even though they're checked. Business owners who are ambitious. We'll get that fixed up later. Okay, and who is this not for? Because I don't want to waste anybody's time. If this isn't for you, there's no need for you to stay. So people who blame everyone and everything, or who think that success is luck, or who aren't willing to follow some simple steps, or who expect somebody else to do all the work for them and feel entitled to success. And it's also not for people who like drama. Okay, if you're still here, are you doing things the hard way? Are you getting up early and going to bed late, worrying about money or how little profit you're making, not paying yourself the wage you're worth, or even worse, not paying yourself at all, and never finding the time to do the things that are important to you, having issues with your staff, and in short, are you getting screwed by life? How does that make you feel? Now, I want you to know that it doesn't have to be this way. So I'm going to show you very quick and simple steps that are used by the best. Strategies that will help you achieve greater success without having to go through all of the mistakes, and strategies that give you back control. So no more hope and pray. Strategies that really work. Why am I doing this? Well, I've seen so many business owners suffering sleepless nights, working for almost nothing, and overwhelmed. And I know that it doesn't have to be this way. So I want to guide people who are ambitious and who are highly capable but not achieving as much as they could be. Now, I don't know if that's you just yet, but we'll see by the end of the video. Okay, a little bit about me so that you know why you need to know what I know. I'm a business strategist who's been working with all kinds of business owners and presenting for over 20 years now. And I love working with enthusiastic and ambitious business owners and making the dreams you had just before starting your business come true. So this is Cedric over here, who I helped did a presentation as a marketing exercise. Here's Cedric presenting to a group of people and starting to achieve that dream that he always had and having a business that's successful. Now, I've also met and learned from many successful business owners, Gary Vee, Steve Wozniak from Apple, Dr. Phil, and I'll talk more about psychology and the importance of that a little bit later on. And now my partner Young and I live a wondrous life in Sydney. We love traveling all over the world. That's us here at Tony Robbins. And we want to share our life's joy with everyone we meet. Because when we start our businesses, we know that we want to work less than our corporate jobs or less than we need to, and we want to earn more than we were in our corporate jobs. But very often it's the other way around. We're not joyous, we're not happy because we're working, we're stressed, we're overwhelmed, we're not getting enough sleep, and that's just not how life is supposed to be. But I don't want to talk too much about me. I really want to spend our time together right now showing you some things that you can implement immediately that will get you amazing results. So get ready for lots of content, but very quickly, I'm not going to sell you anything today. So you can relax and stop protecting your wallet. If you stay until the end, then I've got a very valuable gift for you that will dramatically change your result when it comes to owning a business. And it's also a way for you to have any questions answered for free at the end of this webinar, should you still have any. Now, I do need to let you know, quick disclaimer, that results are not typical. I don't know if you're going to follow the steps, but I can guarantee that I can help you follow and make sure that you keep following the steps. Some people get distracted. And again, I know how to help you to stop yourself from being distracted. I don't know your exact circumstances, but if you hang around for the free gift, then that gift will allow you to ask any questions, but it will also allow me to know your exact circumstances. And remember that you can't get any results unless you apply effort, persistence, and patience. And business is very unpredictable. But again, the free gift will show you how you can get the results. Here's the business model that some owners use. Let's say this is your current situation and this is your goal. It's a little bit like going to the moon. So we set off on our journey, but we have existing skills and existing strategies which give us similar results. So we set new goals. We might work with a new person, do a new course. But eventually, we still have our existing skills and our existing strategies. It's not about the course itself, it's about the psychology. And that is how I work with business owners, working on that psychology. But first, in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you 3 millionaire strategies that can change your life immediately. Now, I don't know your business personally yet, and I'm looking forward to getting to know it. But if I walked in, I'd guess that you'd want to do the following things: have more clients, have more money in the till, have more time, and make more profit. Let's start that journey towards your goals. Okay, the first thing I'd like to show you is how to get more clients. When I first started, I thought that Facebook was going to be the answer, and that because somebody told me Facebook would get me lots of leads, that is where I'd need to advertise. And so I started doing that, and it wasn't getting me the results that I wanted. And then I heard about email, and I think I got an email with somebody telling me how to use email. And so I started doing that, and that wasn't really getting the results that I wanted to. And then I thought, well, flyers must work then. So I started handing out flyers. And none of them were really working. And I discovered the reason a little bit later on, that the message that I was putting in each of those ads wasn't resonating with the customer. So it didn't matter where I advertised. So you'll often see ads saying Facebook is the place to advertise, or Instagram is the one that's going to make you the most amount of money, or you should be on LinkedIn. But it's not the medium, because if your message isn't clear, then none of them are going to work. Here's an example of an ad that doesn't work well anywhere. This ad has, first of all, very messy texts, because you've got big letters, small letters. It's a big mess. And it doesn't really have a very powerful message. It doesn't really speak to the students that it's targeting. So if we want to get this message right before we think about which medium to go for, you need to prepare your message by asking some questions. Who is my client? Who makes the buying decision? What are their problems? What are they afraid of? What does the buyer think the solution is? What are we really selling them? What is the result the client will get? What is unique about our solution to the problem? And how can we prove you can get the client this result? So I'm going to use Future Finance as an example in this one. So who is their client? It's students, and sometimes maybe also their parents. Now, I'd say in 90% of the cases, the students are going to be making the buying decision, and maybe in 10% or maybe even less, the parents might be making the buying decision. So we'd make a lot of ads for students, and we might make a handful of ads that are aimed at the parents. What are their problems? What are they afraid of? They're afraid they're going to have a lack of money, that they can't go out with their friends, that they have to work a lot, and that they're going to be social outcasts. So what does the buyer think the solution is? Well, it's to borrow now and to pay it again later. And I'll explain that in just a second. So what are we really selling them? What is the result for the client? They're going to have more time, better grades, and when they have better grades, they're going to see that as a better job in the future, which means that they'll have the money to pay back the loan later. And then they're also going to have time to party while they're at university still. What's unique about our solution to the problem, and I just made this one up, let's say that the loan can be approved and on your bank account in 1 week. That would be a great, unique selling point. And how can we prove to the client that we can get them this result? Well, we can use testimonials from clients who got a good job after they finished their studies, or we can talk to students and get their testimonials who had time to party and why the loan helped them out. Okay, so I've just gone on to Google Images, found a picture from Reuters, thank you Reuters, and I've made a new ad for Future Finance. So I've used the same font and the same size, and I'm using the types of words and terms that students would use, because obviously they are the target market, not necessarily as much the parents. So OMG, these students look chilled. While the other students work hard in hospitality or another college job, which is what they don't want to be doing, so we're playing on their fears, these girls are having fun. So we're letting them know that these girls have time to have fun. So we're using all of the answers from the questions to put this together. They don't have to worry about money. Again, playing on their worries a little bit. Be like these girls. So do you remember there used to be this, this is Jim. Jim does X, Y, Z, be like Jim. So I'm just using that as a play on something recent. Now it's not very recent anymore, but you can look for something that may be recent that will resonate with your clients, and make sure that you have a call to action. Want your finances under control? Scan or visit the website. Now what I've also done is I've created a tagline which is similar to the one that they already had, but obviously what I've done is I've based it more on the questions, money for fees, and a social life. So instead of life, I put it as social life, because I think that that is going to resonate with clients a lot more. Now it's important to get the message right, and taking it to the next level, an advanced strategy is to test and measure these advertisements, make a couple and see which ones are getting you the best results. And then you're really going to be taking your advertising to the next level. Implement this and you will definitely get much more traffic to your website and traffic to your shop, because these advertisements are going to work for you. Okay, next, are you ready to find out how to get more money in the till? How do you sell a piece of glass? I want you to imagine that there's a salesman who walks into your office and he has a piece of glass and he takes a hammer and he smashes that hammer on top of the glass and the glass doesn't break. Would he have your attention? Now this is a true story. There used to be a company that sold glass, and one salesman did this and he outsold everybody by 3-1. The next year they taught everybody how to do this technique. Everybody went out and sold the glass in the same way, and he still outsold everybody 3-1. But this time what he'd done was he still did things differently to the rest of his colleagues. He would give the hammer to the person he was trying to sell the glass to and get them to smash it, so that they'd believe the process even more and realize that they could hit it as hard as they wanted and that he wasn't just hitting it softly. So to get more money in the till, we need to sell. And to do that, we need to focus on the unconventional to become top salespeople. So here's the unbelievably simple way to sell better than anyone else. It's all about psychology and not techniques. There are opening techniques, closing techniques, scripts, all of these different things. But if you don't understand the psychology of why they work, then you're not going to be able to get the results. Let me give you some examples. You need to ask questions and listen more, and that doesn't fit within a script necessarily, and it's not a technique in that sense. So let's say that somebody walks into a car dealership. They've just had a baby, and they're really very concerned about safety. Now, what the salesperson often does is we are so enthusiastic about our product or our service that we start explaining why somebody needs certain things. In the case of car dealers, what they very often do is they will show the car that they think that person needs. So if it's a man that's walked in and they don't have a baby with them and they're not sure what they want, they'll very often start showing them the sports cars and the high performance cars. But in this case, this man isn't interested in it, and the salesperson is not going to build any rapport. The man is going to feel as if the salesperson doesn't understand him, and the sale is going to go absolutely nowhere, and the salesman is going to be completely confused as to why. But imagine if the buyer walks in and the salesperson asks, "What kind of car are you looking for today?" They may say, "Just had a baby and I'm looking for something that's going to give us a lot of safety." So in this case, you're going to start showing more sedan-like cars with lots of safety features. The more questions you ask, the more you understand what it is that the client actually wants. You can also then, the more questions you ask, the more you can start to upsell. So you may be able to sell them on a small van with more seats, because you can explain to them that as the child grows up, they might have soccer or ballet practice, they might want to take their friends, they may need some extra seats in the car. So a very powerful strategy, and understanding the psychology of selling by asking questions and listening more. Implement this and your sales will start going through the roof. But I want to get you even better sales than that. So be more like your clients. There used to be a man in Paris called Mesmer. He was a hypnotist. And when people used to walk in, some people would say, "Oh, I'm not too sure about this hypnosis thing. I read an article about it, so I thought I'd try it out because I really have some issues with my fear of spiders. Do you think you can help me out?" So he would mimic their speech and their speed and their pitch, and he would say, "I can understand that it might seem as if it might not work for you, and I can understand your concerns, but I've helped lots of people. We're going to get you some amazing results. You're never going to be afraid of spiders again." If, on the other hand, somebody would walk in and they'd slam the fist on the table and they'd say, "I don't believe in this rubbish, but my wife told me to come, so I'm here only because she told me to come. I don't believe in this rubbish. I don't even know why I'm here." He would do the same thing. He would slam his fist on the table and tell them, "I can understand that you're frustrated because your wife sent you and that you don't really want to be here, but I've helped thousands of people and I'm going to get rid of your problem as well." And generally, he would make a lot more sales than anybody else. Do you understand the reason why? He is very much acting like his clients. We have a really good positive self-image of ourselves. If we speak quietly, if we're calm, then we believe that anybody else who's quiet and calm is a good person. So if you act like your clients, if you speak in the same tonality, in the same way that they do, then they're going to like you a lot more, and your chance of making the sale increases dramatically. So be more like your clients, ask more questions. And number 3, prepare for recurring objections. There's nothing worse than a salesperson who stammers and doesn't have an answer ready. So if somebody says, "Oh, but your price is too high," and you have to on the spot think of an answer to that, then you lose all credibility immediately. So whenever somebody throws an objection at you, your prices are too high, or they don't like the colors that you have, or anything else that they may have as an objection to buying from you, write down what you can say in order to have that prepared. The reason for this is when you've prepared your objections,